Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for an amazing treat. We have an awesome special guest who's going to be talking about the hidden cost of imposter syndrome for high achievers. And first, before I introduce her, I want to tell you what is the purpose of the show. The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony, because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life, and it is possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen our relationships, and lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum so that we can increase our confidence, our calm, and our client and cash flow. So please give a warm welcome to our special guest today, Candy Motzek. Candy, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hey, Heather, I am so excited to be here and thank you for having me on your show. Looking forward to the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure. And I'm very much looking forward to this conversation as well. Let them know who you are. So, business coach and trusted mentor for aspiring coaches. And she specializes in empowering intelligent professionals to launch and grow successful coaching business with a unique blend of practical strategy and mindset mastery. Candy helps her clients achieve greater clarity. Her calming and personalized approach enables coaches to play bigger, sign more clients, and create meaningful and profitable success. As a former corporate executive and engineer, she combines her extensive business acumen with a deep understanding of personal growth to guiding her clients towards their fullest potential. Oh my goodness, Katie, I love that. I love that. As I was reading it, I was like, this is exactly why she's a sister from another mister. This is something
Yeah.
that's so beautiful. Oh, well, Katie, so tell us, why is this topic? We're talking about the hidden cost of imposter syndrome for high achievers. Why is this topic something that's so important, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So, imposter syndrome is one of those epidemics that so many of us struggle with. And the worst part is we don't share that inner self doubt. We don't share it with the people who can support us. And so we just make our lives so much more difficult because we think we're the only ones. But more than 70% of high achievers experience imposter syndrome, and it gets worse the more successful we are. So, if you're okay, I'll just tell you a little story.
Yes,
I
please.
spent a ton of time in corporate and I was a hard worker, always there early, always there late, not great boundaries. And I was always looking over my shoulder thinking, uh-oh, they're going to find out that I'm really not very good, that they're going to get rid of me, that I made a mistake. Like always that inner gnawing self-doubt, even though I looked successful on the outside, on the inside, I was a mess. You know how it goes. You get called into the leader's office and you're like, uh-oh, 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 what has happened? Like, what did I do wrong? Well, they offered me a promotion. And so I had spent all this time worrying, suffering from imposter syndrome in a way that was completely unfounded. So one of those hidden costs is that we hide that worry, we hide that doubt, and it just eats away at your energy, your ability to have resilience, the quality of your life, because you're always pretending on the outside that you're okay, and then feeling so horrible on the inside. So, one of those big costs is just that drained life energy. What a waste! What a waste of a life,
Oh
right?
my goodness. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey because really that spoke to a lot of us. Like you mentioned before, it is super common to be able to have this challenge. I remember when I had reached the epitome of my career working for the Army as a civilian, and I had that external success, but that internal struggle, it can take a toll on the body and on the energy. So I'm so glad that you had mentioned this and that we're talking about this because it doesn't have to be that way. And the one thing that I love that you also shared is that you feel like you're the only person who is experiencing it. That's one of the biggest tricks of the mind. Is like no one else is going through this internal suffering like me, right? So I appreciate you highlighting that. Can you share with us a little bit of how, if as we continue to have that kind of toll, like that internal turmoil, like how does it impact, how we show up in business and life, right? And then you'll be able to share with us a little bit, a couple ways on how to shift it.
Mhm. Yeah. So it shows up in quite a few ways. I mean, first, entrepreneurs often will undercharge or they won't put their hand up for a speaking opportunity or an interesting collaboration because they don't feel good enough. So the spin-off cost of that, the actual dollars and cents cost could be massive. The
Nice.
other cost that I see is the cost of perfectionism, continually working hard needlessly. If you're already doing good work, you already know what you're doing. There's a difference between practicing and working towards mastery versus creating this perfectionist nightmare. So the drain on your life energy creates stress in your body, makes you more prone to burnout, um, weight gain, cortisol, every single kind of chronic illness is often triggered by excess stress. You're creating so much of your own stress. And so you might be creating some external illnesses or dysfunction just because of how you feel. So you've got the dollars and cents costs, you've got the time that you spend fine tuning something that no longer needs to be fine tuned. And then you've got potential health costs. Not to mention, you're probably grumpy with your kids because you're so exhausted. So,
Oh,
so
right.
many costs associated with it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And so now that we highlighted, what is this challenge and what's going on from your wisdom? What are some of the, like, what are some tips or strategies that you have to be able to share with us that can support us high achievers?
Yeah. So I think the first is to realize that you're not alone. When you actually allow that number of more than 70% of people experience imposter syndrome, when you really realize that, and maybe you're sitting at a group meeting, maybe you're, on the bus or whatever, and you can look around and go, oh my gosh, almost three-quarters of these people have experienced the same thing. So to know you're not alone and to really allow that to integrate into your heart that you are not alone. There is also just the idea of I use a couple of different ways. So first is to helping people calm their nervous system. So a simple approach of doing calm breathing, box breathing to allow that stress level to settle down. When we, for example, use box breathing or deep breathing to calm our nervous system, then our brain can think better and then we can have more perspective. I don't know if you've shared box breathing with your listeners before, but it's something that I share a lot with my clients, and we just do it. We practice it.
Well, and I'm so glad that you highlighted that because it's interesting. I had never heard of this box breathing until a couple of years ago. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is fascinating. So just to make sure it's like this part where you're breathing in for 4, you're holding for 4, you're breathing out for 4, whatever the number is for 4, and then
Yes.
you're holding it. So that it's like a box. So for those of you who may not know what box breathing is and having that time, what a powerful thing to mention. Yay!
The great thing about box breathing is you can do it anytime. You can do it when you're sitting in the middle of a meeting and feeling triggered and feeling full of self doubt. You could just sit there and decide to breathe a little bit more intentionally. And, so the practical part of this that's so helpful is as soon as your nervous system starts to calm down, then your brilliant brain can actually think. And then you can get some perspective, and then you can be, your own best advocate. Another thing that I think is very important is to have some trusted people in your life and to share how you're feeling. share, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like such a fraud. I think they're going to find out that I only got here just out of luck, or I must have, hit the jackpot that I got this promotion, or I got this, acceptance into this great school. Share that with people that you know who have a much better idea and will remind you, wait a minute, weren't you working hard to prepare for that? Isn't that the natural outcome of doing the work, showing up, submitting the application, like so somebody who can help you level set. So having some
Nice.
community around you. It's not everyone. The key is trusted person that you can share it with.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I had a question for you that was coming, and I was wondering whether I should ask it now, or should I wait till I get one more tip? But well, yes. Okay, so what's another tip and strategy? And then I'm going to ask this question that I think you're going to enjoy.
Okay. Another tip or strategy is create an evidence file.
Hmm.
Most people with imposter syndrome are smart. And when you feel a little bit like a fraud, make sure that what you've done is you've collected physical copies of those emails where people said, wow, I really appreciated that extra point that you brought up. Collect copies of your awards, of the scholarships. And I, I love to make it an actual physical file. Electronic is great, but physical, you actually have to go through it and go, oh, look at that wonderful email. So you're creating the physical file, so you're reminding yourself, hey, wait a minute, I'm not a complete fraud. There are instances in my life where I have had success and people have recognized it. And so you're rewriting that narrative in your head instead of believing the lie that you're just a fraud.
Oh my goodness, that's so good. So everyone who is listening, she had mentioned the top three. First of all, knowing that you're not alone, and then also having trusted people in your life, like a community that can be able to support you. And then number three, having that evidence file, especially if it's physical, like so. Therefore, you can have that evidence check to know, like, oh my goodness, I'm doing an amazing job. Because sometimes, as those high achievers, we need that. Let us know in the comments below which one of those spoke mostly to you. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about that. The question that I had, and I'm smiling because I really am looking forward to hearing your answer. So, Candy and I, we both work with coaches, and Candy, you specialize in working with coaches, supporting them in their business. And as we're talking about imposter syndrome, and being able, and these tips to be able to support more harmony there, how does this transfer over to coaching businesses, um and being able to run a coaching business, hold the space for clients and stuff like that? Like, can you share on that a little bit? um like
Yes.
like imposter syndrome specifically for coaches, because a lot of times when we're serving people, it's like, oh my goodness, okay, so let me just hear from you, whatever
Okay.
comes up.
So, what I often see is coaches who are well trained, really heart centered people, and then they doubt themselves. They're just like, I'm not really sure if I can help those clients or not. Like, who am I to help them? I'm not perfect in my life. Oh, I don't know. Like if they come in and speak with me and I work with them and I coach them, can I actually help them? And so the result of that is often this pulling back and not going out and meeting people, not going out and inviting people to conversations. So that is a real key thing. Again, it's remembering that are an adult. You've been an adult for however many years. You have a lifetime of skills and superpowers and achievements behind you. And there are countless people who would love to talk to somebody who will listen to them, who will care for them, who will see them. Remember who you are, show up for your clients like full on, listen from your heart with your clients. And how can you not help them? Right? It's a key human need to feel seen and heard and valid and to feel appreciated. Just that alone is just amazing, an amazing contribution to your clients.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Candy, because as you were talking, it's like, as there's more peace and with the conflict within you, then it's easier to be able to hold the space and be able to serve others and be seen, heard, and felt. So, because one of the things I would always hear before was lives are literally being lost as a result of us not showing up in our full light and our full service, and that we can have so much more harmony there when there's even more harmony with us. And one of the things that was also coming to mind as you were talking is that reminder that we can be the work in progress and the masterpiece at the same time. And there's a beautiful thing in that. So, coaches who are listening, remember, you only need to be a couple of steps ahead of the people that you support. And really, as you're stepping into your skill, you can support people who are ahead of you, who are behind you, anywhere. And then there's just a beauty in that. So I appreciate you sharing that. Um,
Mm,
Tell us, based on everything that you shared, like what would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
mm. That you're not alone. And if you're experiencing imposter syndrome, you're in good company, right? I still experience imposter syndrome. I've been speaking and coaching for years and I still experience it. I just have tools to manage it. So you're not alone. Lean into your tools. Remember who you are. And like you said, remember that you can be a work in progress and a masterpiece, that you are both at the same time.
Oh my goodness, I so love that. How can we continue this journey with you? How can we continue this journey? Do you have a free gift or something that we can be able to stay connected in your world?
The easiest way to staying connected with me is to come and listen to my podcast. It's
Okay.
called She Coaches Coaches. I've got hundreds of episodes up there. You can come, you can tune in, you can listen to great conversations. Heather's going to be a guest on my show, so make sure you check out that episode. And I do solo episodes as well. So come on over and have a listen to She Coaches Coaches. I'm on YouTube, I'm on all the players, and I would love to see that.
Oh, yes, we would too. I'm actually going to put the links in the comments. So look right below this video. You will see all the links. Make sure you get connected, subscribe, as well as like and give an awesome positive review because that is a very amazing podcast. I had the pleasure of listening to a couple, and I'm so looking forward to being on it as well. We want to hear your wisdom too, those of you who are listening. So let us know, what is your biggest takeaways and ahas from this message? Just put that in the comments below. And the sharing is caring. So if you were given this message of inspiration and how to be able to support yourself in breaking free from imposter syndrome, go ahead and share this out and give this someone else this gift. As you mentioned before, as Candy mentioned before, 70%, that is such a huge number that we didn't even know, higher than I thought it would be. So super excited. And Candy, thank you so much for blessing us with your time today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I loved the conversation.
Likewise, I'm so looking forward to our future conversations as well. All right, everyone, in another level living land, have an amazing evening and weekend. Let this message marinate into your mind, body, soul from this point and beyond. Go ahead and get connected with Candy, clicking on all of her links and getting connected in her world. And we look forward to seeing you again for another episode of Freedom Fridays next week. Bye, everyone.